From our studio in Georgetown, this is the TV Delmarva Channel 14 News at 4.
Good day, Delmarva. Reporter Rob Petrie here for TV Delmarva Channel 14 News. Straight ahead, Governor John Carney tests positive for COVID-19. A Dover man is behind bars after police say he raped and robbed a homeless woman. A 17-year-old arrested on gun charges following a police chase in Dover, and 4 Delaware farm families were honored for their commitment to keeping farmland within their families for 100 years. These stories and more coming up, but weather first with Hunter Alton.
Why, hello and good Tuesday afternoon, Delmarva. I will have to say today's conditions were much better than they were yesterday, especially for certain areas on Delmarva who experienced some very significant severe weather yesterday. But today has been filled with plenty of sunshine. We do have a couple of some fair weather cumulus clouds outside of our TV Delmarva sky cam here in Georgetown. We've had the milder conditions. It has been a little bit on the breezy side, but it's definitely welcome compared to what it was yesterday. Currently 79 degrees out here in Georgetown. Take a look at some satellite and radar, and you can see our cold front is well off the coast now that brought us all the severe storms yesterday. But we are seeing a little bit of some fair cumulus clouds out there, but those will begin to diminish the closer we get towards sunset as we're beginning to lose some of that daytime heating. And we're in for a very, very nice night ahead with plenty of clear skies and some milder temperatures. But we will be seeing an increase in clouds during the day tomorrow, as we're going to be looking at some more rain chances during the overnight hours tomorrow night into Thursday morning, with a weak disturbance moving through. Now, yesterday we had one singular storm that developed just west of Washington, D.C. and continued to move eastward across areas of the Maryland Western Shore, crossing the Chesapeake Bay and eventually heading into our neck of the woods for areas of Dorchester and Sussex County. This one single storm alone produced significant damage, not from wind and not from a tornado, but from hail of all things. Now, seeing very, very large hail in our neck of the woods is not very common, and is actually, in fact, very rare, especially for some of the sizes that we have seen, very similar to what we would see out in the Central Plains in Tornado Alley. Now, this caused significant damage across areas of Dorchester and western Sussex counties that haven't seen some damage like this from hail in many years. I want to show you some of the very, very impressive photos that we have been sent here at TV Delmarva. Actually, we've been sent hundreds of photos yesterday, and I wish I could use all of them in this short amount of time. But I want to show a couple of the very significant damages from the hail that we've seen yesterday across areas of Delmarva. The first one's from East Newmarket, Maryland, thanks to James Phillip Jr. And just look at this home and all the damage we've seen. Busted siding, there's not even a single window that hasn't been broken out of this person's home, and as well as the rear windshield of that car. And I'm sure there's multiple hail dents in with this as well. I'm not sure of the structure capability of the roof. That happened to have some holes in that as well. But this goes to show you what some kind of damages that large hail can do here on Delmarva, especially when they're 2 to 3 inches in diameter that have been reported. And some other cool thing is hail fog. You don't see that very often unless you have a ton of hail in the vicinity. Once the hail begins to melt in terms of the water vapor, you get a little bit of some hail fog out there because of the contrast in temperatures with the outside air. So very, very devastating photo here in areas of Dorchester County, as well as also for Dorchester County in Lakewood, Maryland, thanks to Corey Polidor. They're showing how big the hail is with a tape measure, about 2 inches in diameter, a nice round ball of hail there, which also caused this kind of damage here in Lakewood, Maryland, thanks to Megan LZ, to showing this complete destruction of her siding on her home and a little bit of some damages to the shutters and even some busted windows too. This is why it's very important during a severe thunderstorm warning that you're in a sturdy shelter, and big thing is away from windows, because if you were near your window when this was going on, you're going to be left with some cuts and some scrapes as well because of that hail just demolishing the side of this home. Not only areas of Dorchester County see some very significant hail, but also in Sussex County. This is in Laurel, Delaware. Leanne Hosmer sent us this photo of a very, very large hailstone from her yard, and that's about 2.5 inches in diameter right there, about the size of a tennis ball. Think about that when it's plummeting towards the earth about 60 to 80 miles per hour. Just unbelievable kinds of hail damage here on Delmarva that is not very, very common whatsoever. I did a case study on our website, tvdelmarva.com today, just to describe how unusual of an event this was here for areas of the Delmarva Peninsula. Now, after I get all the bad news out of the way about the destruction of the storms yesterday, but today is a much different story and much calmer conditions too. And some nice warm temperatures across the region right now. Currently 81 degrees in Salisbury, 79 for Pocomoke City, 77 for Ocean City, 78 for Easton, 79 for Centerville and Dover, and also 79 degrees up north in Wilmington and Newark. Yesterday we were looking at dew points well into the 60s and even 70 degrees for some locations, but much drier air is in place today behind that cold front as our dew points are only in the mid and upper 40s. We've been seeing a little bit of some breezy conditions at times from the west, sustained anywhere between about 10 and 15 miles per hour, but it's a nice warm wind and lots of dry air too. And as well, we've been seeing some wind gusts over 25 miles per hour, currently gusting to 25 here in Georgetown, 22 for Salisbury, 20 miles per hour in Ocean City, 23 for Easton and Centerville, 24 miles per hour in Dover, and much stronger up north in Newark and Wilmington at 28 and 27 miles per hour. Well, the good news is no severe weather is in the forecast over the next couple of days. We are expecting a little bit of some rain chances during the overnight hours tomorrow, but a taste of summer-like warmth is on the way towards this weekend. I have more details on that in just a little bit.
Governor John Carney announced Monday that he has tested positive for COVID-19 through an at-home antigen test, which he took after experiencing mild symptoms. The governor issued the following statement saying, quote, "I am feeling well and will continue to work remotely, but unfortunately will have to miss a few in-person events. I will continue to follow the CDC guidelines following my positive result." Governor Carney is vaccinated and double boosted and is currently isolating per CDC guidelines. A Dover man is behind bars after police say he raped and robbed a homeless woman. Around 2:13 in the morning Sunday, officers with the Dover Police Department responded to the parking lot of the Dover Library to check on the welfare of a 46-year-old woman. The woman told police that she was sleeping near the entrance of the library when she was woken up by an African-American male suspect who stole her phone and a knife. The victim told police that she tried screaming for help, but the suspect made threats against her life if she did not stop. Police say the suspect then proceeded to rape the victim and then fled the area on foot. Officers were able to obtain video surveillance footage that captured the incident on tape. While searching for the suspect, officers located 27-year-old Taiwan Mack in the lobby of the emergency room at Bay Health Kent campus. Police say Mack was wearing the same clothing as was seen in the video of the incident and was found to be in possession of some of the victim's property. Mack was taken into custody and charged with first-degree rape and robbery. He has since been committed to the Sussex Correctional Institution on $180,000 cash bond. And speaking of Dover, a 17-year-old was arrested on gun charges following a police chase in Dover. According to the Dover Police Department, the incident occurred around 2 p.m. Monday as officers were conducting a firearms investigation after it was learned that a 17-year-old was in possession of a handgun. Police say it was reported that the suspect had, quote, flashed the gun on the property of the Parkway Academy. The juvenile suspect was later located in the 100 block of South Queen Street and fled on foot when police approached. Now, during a foot pursuit, police say the juvenile suspect was clutching his waistband and eventually fell down. A teal 9mm handgun was located where the suspect fell. The suspect then got up, according to police, and continued to run, but was located a short time later near the Dover Fire Department, just between South Governors Avenue and South Bradford Street. He was arrested on a slew of charges and committed to a juvenile detention center on $17,000 secured bond. Well, having recently completed beach nourishment projects in 5 Delaware Bay beach communities, DenRec is now beginning the next phase of restoring parts of the state's coastline. This includes the beaches that experience widespread erosion and damage from that terrible May nor'easter. The next restoration phase spans the majority of the state's coastline and will require DenRec to partner with the Army Corps of Engineers and affected communities to restore the coastline. DenRec's post-storm work is set to begin this week in South Bethany, the community worst hit by the storm, and restoration work will then move south to north. At each juncture, DenRec will clean up debris such as smashed dune fencing and will regrade numerous access crossings. Well, nominations are set to close May 31st for the Lieutenant Governor's Challenge. The program honors the individuals, organizations, and institutions that inspire others to make healthy choices that impact the state of Delaware. Now, we got a chance recently to sit down with Lieutenant Governor Bethany Hall Long, who tells us more about the challenge and how to nominate someone.
Yes, you can visit Lieutenant Governor's website, and we'll be sure that you have that information so that you can post that and share that, with your listeners. And we welcome them to apply. They're in different categories. Some may be around the environment, in the work setting or the community. It could be some project in the community. It is also healthy lifestyles. It could be, exercise and nutrition, the things that immediately come to mind, or it could be chronic disease management, whether it's preventative measures with cancer, diabetes, again, chronic mental health issue, patients who have chronic anxiety, depression. Again, this is not limited just to the physical body, but to the emotional well-being. Plus, we really also focus on mother and child as well. So you kind of got the broad spectrum, and it can be cradle to grave, all ages in between, behavioral health, physical health.
The winners will be selected later this summer. Coming up, 4 Delaware farm families were honored for their commitment to keeping farmland within their families for at least 100 years. More details on the way. Keep it here. Governor Carney, Deputy Secretary of Agriculture Nico Brady, and state legislators honored 4 Delaware farm families for their commitment to keeping farmland within their own families for at least 100 years. The Delaware Century Farm Program was established in 1987 to honor farm families here in Delaware who have owned and operated their own farm for at least 100 years. The farms must include at least 10 acres of the original parcel of the farm or gross more than $10,000 annually in agricultural sales. With the announcement of these new 4 families, Delaware will have recognized 152 century farms over the past 35 years. Wow. To find out more about the award recipients, go to tvdelmarva.com. Well, it's looking like we're in store for mostly clear skies and comfortable conditions tonight as we get a preview of your pinpoint weather forecast with Hunter Alton.
Sunny and mild conditions will continue into Wednesday, but we will be seeing an increase in clouds towards the afternoon and evening hours. A weak storm system will arrive tomorrow night, bringing us the chance of some showers to the region before clearing out by Thursday morning. And a taste of some early summertime heat is on the way towards this weekend. Just how warm are we talking about? I'll let you know when we come back here on TV Delmarva, Channel 14 News. Alrighty, Delmarva, let's get right into the pinpoint forecast for the overnight hours into the day on Wednesday. We're going to be continuing with the nice, comfortable temperatures during the overnight hours tonight. And we got some mostly clear skies as well. Overnight lows of 52 to 55 degrees with some light winds from the northwest at about 5 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the futurecast rest of the overnight hours into the day on Wednesday. This is 8 o'clock this evening. We're starting to see a little bit of some cloud activity move through the area. Still generally mostly clear skies. Still fairly mild temperatures too, even just right after sunset of temperatures in the lower 70s. Going into the heart of the overnight hours, the bulk of the clouds will be moving well off of our coast, and we're going to be looking at some mostly clear and even some plain old clear conditions for the most part with that moon shining bright out there. Temperatures still fairly comfortable in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Waking up tomorrow morning though, more areas of some very mild temperatures in the lower 60s where we're starting to see a little bit of some cloud cover move in from the northwest, and that will be continuing throughout much of your Wednesday out ahead of another weak disturbance that will be moving in during the overnight hours tomorrow night. Going into the early afternoon hours, we got partly cloudy skies. Temperatures a few degrees cooler than what it was today, but still fairly nice in the low and mid 70s. But by the evening time period, we're starting to see even more cloud cover. We got partly to mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures still fairly mild in the upper 60s, but going into the heart of the overnight hours tomorrow night, we're going to be looking at a weak disturbance moving through, and that's going to be bringing some areas of some showers, especially in the northern portions of the shore, where we could be looking at a few hundredths of an inch of precipitation. But it's going to be a relatively quick mover because by the morning hours, it will be gone and out of the way, and we got a big warm up in store for this coming weekend. Wednesday forecast overall, we got increasing clouds becoming partly cloudy by the afternoon hours. Once again, comfortable temperatures of 70 to 75 degrees with some light winds from the northwest between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Take a look at the allergy index for your Wednesday. Still looking at some high levels of pollen, a 9 out of 12 on our scale. Still, the main pollens is going to be for oak and birch trees, your typical tree pollen, but we're still looking at the increase of those grass pollens as well. Going into the marine forecast for your Wednesday, beginning with the Atlantic, partly sunny skies, 64 degrees, winds from the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour with seas of 1 to 3 feet. Take a look at the Delaware Bay, partly sunny skies, 65 degrees, winds from the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour with seas of less than 1 foot expected. And then the Chesapeake Bay, partly sunny skies as well, 68 degrees, winds from the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour with seas of around 1 foot on the Chesapeake Bay. Now, going into the overnight hours tomorrow night, like I mentioned, we're going to be having a weak disturbance move through, and we're going to be looking at some areas of some showers developing, but we're going to be keeping things fairly mild during the overnight hours of 56 to 60 degrees, and the winds will be changing directions as well, now from the south between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Take a look at that extended outlook like we do mention. We have rain chances overnight tomorrow into Thursday morning, but the rest of Thursday is going to be just fine. Going to be looking at decreasing clouds as well. Temperatures getting into the upper 70s. This weekend, though, different story. We're going to be getting a little bit of a quick taste of some summer-like conditions. Friday, more sunshine, partly sunny, 83 degrees. And yes, on Saturday, you're seeing that right. 90 degrees, partly sunny skies, feeling a little bit of humidity too, just making it feel like that summer is definitely right around the corner. And we're going to be looking at a cold front move through on Sunday, sparking some scattered thunderstorms, still fairly mild in the lower 80s, but by the time we get into Monday and Tuesday of next week, we're going to be cooling things down back near 70 degrees with much drier conditions and partly sunny skies.
Coming up, President Biden is now allowing additional orders of free COVID-19 tests through covidtest.gov. More details straight ahead. Don't go away. President Biden is now allowing additional orders of free COVID-19 tests through covidtest.gov. U.S. households will now be able to order 8 additional free at-home test kits. This brings the overall total of free test kits to 16 since the start of the program. Government officials first launched the website back in January. So far, the Biden administration has delivered roughly 350 million free COVID-19 tests to Americans. The latest push for testing comes as cases continue to rise in various states across the country. Now, recently, the White House asserted that upwards of 100 million infections could be possible in the fall and winter seasons later this year.
Weather Classroom is sponsored by No Nonsense Office Machines, committed to providing quality products and services with over 15 years of experience here in Sussex County. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today's weather lesson, we will be talking about the formation of hail. Hail is one of the most destructive types of severe weather. While often overshadowed by tornadoes, hail causes millions of dollars in damages each year here in the United States. Hailstones come in a variety of sizes and shapes and can cause large amounts of damage to property. Hail is found in many thunderstorms and often accompanies storms that also produce strong winds and as well as tornadoes. Hailstones are a frozen form of precipitation that occurs when a thunderstorm's updraft lifts rain up into the freezing line in the atmosphere. When the hailstones become too heavy to be lifted by the updraft, they fall back down towards Earth, towards the ground. Hail forms when a thunderstorm updraft lifts water droplets above the freezing line in the atmosphere, and the frozen water droplets then accretes to supercool water droplets or water vapor, which freezes once they come in contact with the frozen droplet, and this process causes the hailstones to grow in size. Hail is often confused with other types of freezing precipitation such as sleet, but sleet is found mainly during the cool seasons and does not occur in thunderstorms. Hail, in comparison, is only found in thunderstorms where updrafts and the thunderstorm forces raindrops further up into the atmosphere to freeze. Hail sizes can differ greatly from one storm to another depending on the strength of the storm's updraft. Stronger updrafts can create larger hailstones, which in turn causes more damage. This makes reporting the size of hail to the public a very, very important thing to do to make sure for public safety standards. Now, the good news is here on Delmarva, large hail in thunderstorms is not extremely common, unlike it is in the Midwest and Central Plains due to our low elevation. That means storms in our neck of the woods would have to be very intense to bring water droplets higher into the atmosphere to that freezing line, and it takes a lot more effort to achieve in these lower elevation zones.
Well, that about does it for us today, Delmarva. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at TV Delmarva and on our website, tvdelmarva.com, for real-time news and weather updates. And while you're there, be sure to sign our petition calling on the major cable providers to carry TV Delmarva on their platforms so we can provide this kind of hard-hitting local programming to all of Delmarva. Until next time, I'm Rob Petrie reporting for TV Delmarva, Channel 14 News.